played wide receiver at Utah. He's on the golf course, but giving us time here on the show, 365 Sports with Craig and Paul, David Smoke, and Kenneth Scott, former Utah receiver, joins us on 365 Sports. Kenneth, I hope you're playing well and you're keeping it in the fairway and on the greens and putting well too. Thank you for your time. How would you describe the holy war between Utah and BYU?
Man, first and foremost, hope y'all day is going well because mine is going good out here and it's nice weather. But if I want to sum up the rivalry between Utah and BYU, it is definitely legacy driven because the winner or loser is going to have to hear about it for 364 days, depending on how the scheduling goes. So it could be a legacy driver for sure.
Kenneth, in this game this year, you have two teams that are fairly even. You've got a quarterback in Devin Dampier at Utah who is a dual threat. Bear Bachmeier, dual threat. Good fronts. All these things. What do you think is the tipping point in this game for whoever wins?
Man, who's going to have the least amount of turnovers, really, honestly. That's what's really going to boil down to. I think the game is pretty even. My projection is kind of obviously biased, but I believe whoever can take care of the ball the most and in that aspect is going to win the game. I think both of us are pretty good on offense and defense and special teams as well. It's just going to come down to who can hold on to the ball.
Kenneth, how did you process that Texas Tech loss? Did you look at it as Utah didn't play their best, or did you look at it in part as, hey, Texas Tech just might be that good?
Yeah, for 3.5 quarters, I thought, we were pretty good neck and neck. And then, our offense wasn't clicking. Obviously, we heard that Dampier was, not at his full capability, so that hindered us a little bit. But, looking back at it and seeing what Texas Tech is doing to other teams, it's not too bad of a loss as we initially thought, being that, they're doing everything else to everybody, and plus we were kind of hindered. So not too bad. I dwelled on it in the beginning, so I was like, until I recognized or heard around the corner that Dampier was, a lot like 50% rather than 75. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. So yeah.
Do you get as riled up or nervous or in tune to the game as you did when you played it? Is it still somewhat like really intense for you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it's bragging rights, man. You have these alumni that, always going to talk trash, but obviously in good favor. And as a fan nowadays, you definitely want to have that bragging right. So I wouldn't say as much as it was when playing, but for sure, somewhat there.
When you think about the job that Kyle Whittingham has done over the time and you think about your time there, what stands out to you most about him as a coach and a developer of players and young men?
Man, Coach Whitt is freaking amazing. When I tell you the way he develops, not even just coach, but everybody on the staff, right? He picks up the great guys to be put in place to understand where people are and where they need to be. And then they formulate a plan in order to get them to that point. And so Coach Whitt, no matter if you're 2-star, 1-star, even if you came in as a 4-star, they're going to get you to where you need to be, not only for the program, but for your, potential future. So, and they do a phenomenal job.
How much of BYU have you seen this year, and what has stood out to you in what you have seen?
Okay, I'm pretty biased, man. I'm not going to lie. Because Coach Roderick was my coach coming into University of Utah. Now he's at BYU. Yeah. And so for me, I'm kind of biased in a way. I love their offense. I always tell people I'm a big fan of Chase Roberts. I love the way he plays, man. He's a phenomenal receiver. And I love the swagger of Parker Kingston, number 11. I don't know what it is about him. He got some swag to him. And obviously, Bear, he does his thing. And then the running back, LJ, he does his thing too. So, I love their offense. They do a great job, a phenomenal job. And obviously, Coach Rod's my guy, but they do a great job.
We have seen the intensity. We've heard about it, read about it. We've actually all but tasted it, I guess. We had Riley Nelson, a former BYU quarterback, on, and he was a part of 3 straight losses that started a run for Utah against BYU. You, I believe, every time you were with the team at Utah, you won that game. What was it like? And how would you describe, is it hatred or just just cannot stand BYU as a player for Utah?
Yeah, I'm blessed to never had, been on the receiving end of a loss to them. So I can have a little bit of bragging rights.
Yep.
But to be honest with you, those games were, pretty close except for the 2011 game where we beat them 54-10 at home. It was just a dominant game. But every other game, man, it was neck and neck right then and there. So I never take those things lightly. Every game to us is going to be like tooth and nail. Because you want to have bragging rights for the whole state. So that's the type of game you're going to play for sure. We're coming into it.
Kenneth Scott, former Utah receiver, with us on 365 Sports. So what was your biggest moment playing against BYU? And you just something you'll always remember?
The biggest moment, I would say, when there was supposed to be a year that we didn't end up playing them, which was my senior year. And then miraculously, obviously, the gods or Joseph Smith, whatever, put us together in a bowl game and figured, that'll be a great way to send out people on the road. And so I think that was a memorable moment, us being able to play them in the bowl game in the fashion that we did. Obviously, we were up 35-7. And of course, like every BYU game, a comeback happened. And so it was just going down to the wire per usual. And it was just a great game overall. And I'm pretty sure the fan base enjoyed it too. And so I would say that would be the one for sure.
So you mentioned how many days? Well, you mentioned winning the game and then having to again enjoy it for 364. We had Riley Nelson on again, former BYU quarterback, and he already knows it's 2,245 days since Utah last beat BYU. What is that? That's
holy crap.
Yeah. Well, they had a gap there where they didn't play, but man, that's a long time, especially when Utah ran that thing for about a decade.
I can say that we're going to start over. It's going to be one afterwards. After tomorrow, it's going to be one day where we're going to be victorious along that streak. So I can definitely say that. A little trash talking pandering for sure.
Did you ever meet Kalani Sitake in person or just knew of him because he was the BYU football coach?
Yeah, repeat that one more time about Coach Sitake.
Yeah, did you ever actually meet him at all, recruit you or whatever, or did you just know him because he was the BYU assistant coach, I think, at the time?
Oh, yeah, I knew Coach Sitake. Coach Sitake was there as a defense coordinator when I was there. He actually tried to get me to play safety because obviously I had playing time. My redshirt freshman year was part of the rotation. And so he wanted to pull me to be a safety on his team. And so I love Coach Sitake and what he brings to the group. He's just a phenomenal guy personally. And so gotta love Sitake. Can't root against him. It's hard.
No, he seems to be such a gentleman.
If somebody doesn't like Kalani Sitake, then I immediately question that person. I don't care what their allegiance is. He's that good of a guy. Kenneth, there's been a lot of talk all week about this is the biggest holy war ever. Would you agree with that?
Oh, that's tough, man. That's a tough thing because I can see why they say that because we're both ranked. Mm-hmm. And 6-0 5-1. I mean, that's tough. It's definitely up there for sure. It's definitely up there. That's tough. I would say it has to be top. Oh, yeah, it's tough. It's up there because there's a lot riding on it for sure.
I can feel you wanting to say it's one of yours, which I get. Like, I get that feeling, but like you guys were never in the conference together, right? I mean, so now you're in the conference together. There's conference implications and possible national implications on the game from here on out.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy because I would say that this game has a lot riding on it. It probably weighs more than it goes back to the Mountain West days when we're both part of the same conference. I think it has that same weight, but it's a little bit more because we're both ranked and we're halfway through the season, and this means a lot. Every win does. So, yeah, it probably is one of the top ones.
Well, and for Utah, because of that loss to Tech, you can't afford another loss. It might knock you out of being able to play for the Big 12 title. If BYU wins, they're one leg up on Utah. And, of course, down the road, they get to play Texas Tech. So let's get to your golf game. Have you played well? How are you shoot? What's your score right now?
Yeah, right now, we're on the back end of the 9, and I just hit a bogey. I just hit a bogey on the third toughest hole on the course, and so the first 9 was okay. It was raining a little bit. It wasn't my best, I'll be honest with you, but this back 9 starting off pretty good.
If in fact Utah wins, how do you celebrate that tomorrow?
Oh, I'm going crazy. I'm talking trash amongst all my BYU fans. I'm talking trash against everybody. I'm like, no, I'm just playing. As far as celebrating, it's 7 o'clock over here, so it'll probably be some time where I get some sushi with the family. So if we win, I'll be able to get some sushi.
Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate it. Enjoy the golf game, buddy. Appreciate your time and enjoy the game tomorrow night.